Luxury, high performance, quality, the best of the best. Forbes India Momentum, a spanking new luxury auto show on ForbesIndia.com.
If you're even slightly clued into the world that I like to call home, you'd know that the car I'm driving today is a big deal. It's steeped with tradition, has a lot to live up to with a really cool name, and it's the pride and joy of its maker. Give it up and make way. A lot of way for the new Land Rover Defender. Now let's be honest, I'd have to be a right loon if I didn't start this review off with a bit of off-roading, right? And let me just give it to you straight. It goes well. It goes really well. I mean, someone at Land Rover would have had to mess things up on so many levels to get the Defender wrong. That's got to be a fireable offense, right? Or worse. But what I do know now for a fact is that a lot of people seem concerned that the new Defender isn't, well, traditionally made in the sense that it doesn't have a ladder frame chassis. To which I have to say, boo-hoo, look, they've gone with an aluminum monocoque and that's much more resilient and much more stiffer than it ever was. And honestly speaking, this is Land Rover. They know what they're doing and they're good at it. So why don't we all just sit back in these luxurious seats and comfortably off-road as we never have before and, well, just pipe down. Now let me quickly run you through what I've got going on over here. I've got air suspension, which when it's fully raised has 290 mm of ground clearance. That's a lot. And even at its lowest setting, which is called access mode, you will still end up looking, let's say, inelegant when you're getting in or out of the car. But for now, it's 290. On downhill slopes that end abruptly, I really don't need to worry about anything at all because, surprise, surprise, Land Rover's got me covered there as well. Super short overhangs and an approach angle of 38 degrees means that this thing will pretty much take care of whatever you throw its way. And then of course there's the beautiful Terrain Response 2 system, which has as many as 6 driving modes. You basically conjure up any kind of tarmac or broken tarmac or whatever road you can find, and the Defender will pretty much have you covered.
I gotta hit the beat.
But what got me really excited is all the tech that Land Rover has crammed into the new Defender. Tech like the clear sight rear view mirror, which is actually a virtual rear view mirror, which is super useful to have, especially when you take a lot of luggage in your boot and load it up right to the roof. And some people actually do that. So it's really intuitive, really smart. There's also an impressive 360-degree camera, and there's even a way for you to see what's happening under the car virtually. Now, as I'm saying all of this, I'm hearing Land Rover loyalists scream in my ear saying, the more gadgets there are, the more stuff that can go wrong. And, well, it's a huge departure from the simplicity, the mechanical simplicity of the Series 1 Land Rover. Yes, okay, fair point. But honestly, how many of these people is Land Rover targeting nowadays? I mean, I know for a fact that so many people would be chuffed to bits to get the legendary Defender with tech like this. It's marrying the old world ruggedness of the Defender with new age tech. I don't see an issue with that. Now, I've been in the game of reviewing cars for a a while now, and there are a few things that I've picked up, a few things that I've learned along the way. For a start, no matter how advanced cars get, no matter how futuristic they get, no one has seemed to figure out a way to not lose your keys under the seat. It happens every time. But perhaps one of the most important things that I've learned is that, or the most relevant thing that I've learned is that off-roading is a very, very niche thing. Even amongst the enthusiasts, a very small percentage actually wants to get down and dirty with their vehicles, especially when you consider those vehicles may cost or may go a little bit above a crore, like this one.
I am not a part of that niche, and that's why here, out in the open, on the road, that's where a car's make or break moment comes for me. And this is where I've been wanting to see just how well the Defender fares.
The basics first. This is of course the 2-litre turbo petrol that I'm driving, and it is mated to an 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox. It makes around 300 horsepower and weighs a cool 2.3 tons, which is about the weight of bankruptcy I felt while filling fuel in the Defender, more or less. But thereafter my focus kind of shifted. You see, don't get me wrong, this is not a physics-defying car by any yardstick, and you can tell that just by looking at it, but the amount of work and effort that the JLR engineers have put into the new Defender, it's breathtaking, it's astonishing, honestly. I mean, for a car that's actually shod with all-terrain tires and basically has the aerodynamic properties of a blob of cheese, you would assume that it would be very hard to drive, very unruly to drive. It's not. It's actually very, very nice to drive. The cabin insulation is astounding. There's no wind noise, no tire noise, nothing. And equally astonishing is the steering wheel, because it's well weighted, it's direct, it has lots of confidence when you're pushing it at higher speeds, and it's just a lovely size to just grip and hold. And sure, obviously when you push the car hard around corners or hustle it, there is a little bit of body roll, but it by no means is unruly, and it never feels like you're not in control. It just handles so beautifully. And this, I believe, is thanks in large part to the 255 section tires. Now, truth be told, I was a little worried when I saw the 20-inch wheels. There is, well, no way this could have smothered all the potholes and the craters and everything else that we're used to on our roads. But it does. It actually does. And it does it so gracefully, it's mental. As for the 2-litre turbo petrol, that's another feather in JLR's cap. You can also get the Defender 110 in a 3-litre spec, but this engine has me gobsmacked. It's genuinely normal to think that an engine of this size is going to struggle with a car of this size and this weight, but it does it. It does it with aplomb. I mean, the initial pickup is great, and it cleanly revs all the way to the red line without a hassle, without a fuss. It's more than up to the task of hauling the Defender wherever you want it, whenever you want it. Now, of course, it may not have a great top end, but this is a Defender. Come on, pick your battle. With all 3 rows up, you get boot space of 160 liters, which is fair enough. But if you fold the 3rd row down, that goes up to 700 plus liters of boot space. Fold the 2nd row down, get your pet elephant along. Or, 18, 26 liters. How do you get an elephant in a car? Get a Defender. I am stumped. I'm sold. The Defender is the best of both worlds. Even if one half of those worlds involves off-roading your SUV that's worth more than a crore. I tell you what though, it's worth it. It's all worth it. Thanks for watching. I'm Ronak. I'll catch you on the next one.